bitches? What's up? Wake up. It's morning time.
Hi, Jason. Good morning.
Happy Tuesday.
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing, buddy?
I'm not too bad. I'm floating around
Awesome.
a 7 out of 10.
Okay. Sweet. Sweet.
How about
Um,
you? What's going on? What's good?
ah, I'm doing well. Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Chels. I was here chilling alone. We had some attempts to get Chels up on stage, and after seeing what her kids do to her computer, I know why she couldn't jump up yesterday. But basically, I was feeling really down and low in the morning. Something that happens to me on Mondays when I come to work and I'm like, frick, I didn't do anything. I have all this stuff piled up. I'm behind. Then I did the daily reading. That was basically like, you know, the greatest thing you have done and can ever do is your children. And, it made me think, oh, maybe I shouldn't worry about work on the weekends. And then I did the show, and the show had me up very high in the levels, 9 plus club with David. And then I went out and crushed work yesterday and caught myself up a bit. Made myself a promise that when I got home, I wasn't gonna just melt into the couch after a long day. And I, interacted with my family, my kids, made my wife lasagna so that she has food for the week. And yeah, it just felt like yesterday was a good day. And it was all thanks to the book and then the people here in the chat. You guys just light me up. Felt good.
Well done, y'all. That's
Hmm.
good to hear. Makes me feel happy.
Yeah.
Um, Yesterday was our first day back at school.
Sweet.
It was nice. It was calm. It was cool. It was collected. Everybody's still in spring break mode, so we'll see how today goes.
Okay.
Um, I
Nice.
have I have my oldest daughter who transferred into my class because of a friend, not because of me.
Transferred into your class or out of your
Yes.
class?
So I'll
Oh,
have
okay.
I'll have my daughter here, and we'll see how it goes. Uh,
Mm.
we're doing a little bit of a morning reshuffle here. I am getting off at 6:45. So that includes a little bit of change in gym and workout routine, wake up routine,
Yeah.
some things, some sore points that kind of in hindsight was not working for everybody. It was working
Okay.
for me for a time. I think I talked a little bit about it a few weeks ago. So that's kind of where we're at. So we'll see. We'll see how this all sifts out. It's one big life experiment. Um,
Subtext. Dom's looking for a new co-host, y'all.
oh, here's Ron. Ron, you are hired.
Now Ron's got too much going on. He can't handle this. Funny random tangent slash connection slash question. So question, have you in your growing up through the school, were you ever in a class with one of your parents or your dad? Because your mom wasn't a teacher, just your dad.
No, I did go to some of my mom. I mean, I've been at my mom's work as she's working, kind of like a visit your parents at work day.
Hmm.
I spent time in dad my dad's classroom when we had like the summer break overlap
Yeah.
with high school kids. He worked at a very tough school. He worked at the school
Okay.
essentially where they send all the kids that cannot handle a regular public school. So that was interesting. But I was never in a class. I mean, my dad was a coach. We
Okay.
got that.
Got it.
Um, I've been in classes with friends' parents, and I have
Okay.
had a lot of Kira's friends. I'm going to have a lot of Junie's friends next year as well. Um, is your question leaning towards what does it feel like? Is that kind of where you're going?
No, my I so I don't know if I should shout this other podcast out, but I'm just playing. But Chelse's husband Rob, he runs a podcast, and I just listened to his two newest episodes. One featuring Mr. Ron Jordan, which was amazing. So I listened to that. That was great. And then his newest one was featuring Dan the Man, and Rob's a teacher, and one of his favorite questions to ask is, "What was your favorite teacher growing up, and why?" And Dan gave an answer that I haven't heard yet, and it was his mom. And at first, I thought he was going with like just saying something beautiful like my mom taught me so much. Like, how could I not pick my mom? But his mom actually was a teacher. He did actually have a class with her, and his response was just to that effect. And I just thought, with your daughter joining your class, I wonder if she gets asked that question 20 years later, if her answer would be my dad, because I had a class with him and it was great, blah blah blah. And that's just something that, like I said, just happened this morning. Thought it was a interesting connection that you just brought up.
Yeah, that's a great question. Chels, thank you. I'm glad you talked to Ryan. I also talked to Ryan a little bit as well. Um,
Good. So everybody here is just talking to Ryan but me.
yeah. Well, if you're
Cool.
finding a new co-host, then
This
it's just me
this
that's going to talk to Ryan.
this is really doubling down on the anxiety and fear that I have that Mr. Ryan Turner is secretly mad or harboring some sort of resentment towards me, and he and I are going to have to battle it out in the V Dome.
Good luck. I'm sure you'll come. I'm sure you'll be victorious. Um, so back to my daughter having me as her favorite teacher.
Mm,
It's certainly an aspiration. We are in the 13-year-olds. There is a little bit of butting heads. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be really honest.
yeah.
It's around just kind of everything as she grows into teenagehood. It's I've had to do a lot of stepping back and remember that I was this age too.
Yeah.
That's what I've had to do. And I didn't always do the best things. I didn't always do the healthiest things.
Hmm.
Uh, and she's there, but she is still like an awesome kid. I love her to death. Um, doing great at school. I'm thankful for being able to be her coach. Super thankful to have her in my classroom. Um, I am kind of wondering now that she's this age and there is a little bit of that parental what's the word? The word is not angst. It's parental pushback, I guess. We'll see
Okay.
how that kind of changes in the classroom because, the class she transferred into, I may have to drop the velvety hammer of justice based on who is in my class. And I'm just wondering what that's going to transfer, how that's going to hit.
It'll be very interesting.
Yeah.
Like Dan, like one of the things Dan said is he's like I couldn't BS my way out of homework. He's like, she always knew where I was standing in the class because she was my teacher. But it seemed like it altogether. It seemed like a good thing for him reflecting back. So I'm sure it'll be
Mhm.
the same way with you, knowing what I know about you. Um, I don't think it would be bad. Did she tell you like how it all came about? I know you said her friend like kind of wanted to go into the class. Was there anything in on her side of it where it's like, no, my dad teaches that. I don't know. That's gonna be weird.
I don't know. Maybe. I didn't ask that. I she wants to. There was a friend that she wanted to have class with, and I mean, kids do that all the time. So
Yeah.
it's no different than any other student that I have.
I don't remember that in middle school, but like having class options. That's a newer thing, right? That they brought like optional choice electives into the middle school area. I know in high school. I just don't remember it from my time in middle school. That was
Yeah.
very long ago, so it could be that. But I like that, giving them those choices and that freedom earlier and earlier.
Yeah. Not every school has actual electives. Our school does. Our school does a really good job with it.
Yeah.
They give students options that they can actually choose. They're not shoehorned into electives if they don't want to take it.
Hmm.
Um, so for the most part, I have kids who want to be there, which is great.
Chels
So
definitely picked woodworking,
I would love to
100%.
do a woodworking class.
Like actually
That's
teach it, or you want to go back to school?
I
What do
would
you
do
want?
that too. I would go back to school for woodworking. Um,
Yep, I did that in high school. Like I said, I don't think we had any of that in my middle school, but you know why? Because I went to a full elementary that was a school from kindergarten all the way to eighth grade. So yeah, I definitely didn't have electives. Um, it was just one school I went to from like I think I got there at second grade all the way to eighth grade, same school, uh, and then got my first shot at electives in high school, and definitely did woodshop.
mhm.
3 years, 4 years, something like that. I still have some of the I think I finally, like nope, I still have one item in my garage that I built from high school. All the other things I threw away, but I have, like, a end table that I built that is very poorly done, but it sits there and it holds my old paint cans and my car wash supplies in the corner of my garage. I was just in it the other day because I just washed my car.
Yeah, I think that's great. I would say that out of like my middle school experience, woodshop is the class that I use most of the skills.
Yeah, everybody should do that
I had
class.
a boot jack. That was one of the projects we could do. And then,
Oh, okay.
just like woodworking, my dad was always into it, less when he had us, but I built like our kitchen table I built. It's been around since 2011 and it's got our
Ooh,
marks, it's got our history. That's all
nice.
stuff that I carried from wood shop and through the years. I mean, it's not like, it's not like a super beautiful table, but it is
Yeah,
definitely our table.
that's
Um,
awesome.
uh,
Very cool.
so yeah, wood shop. Wood shop is
I'm a
like
little now that
gotta
I'm
get
thinking
gotta
about
get
it
kids working with hands.
now
That's
that I'm thinking about it, I'm a little bummed that I didn't have this thought until right now, but, uh, Bailey's about to enter her next year, being her last year of high school, and then I don't even know if her school has a wood shop, but she definitely did not take wood shop. I know that for sure. I'm a little bummed that I didn't put that more to the forefront or even ask the question.
I
But I'll
missed.
ask her. I'll ask her if the school has it. Um, See if it's an option for her next year or for Brooklyn. I really want these. I love that
Thank you, Chels.
art.
Appreciate your support
Art.
here.
Yeah.
I got 2 minutes here, Dom,
Oof.
till I gotta
What'd you think of
go.
the reading, Jason? Go.
I got notes from last year,
All right.
talking about uh, Marquis Lee and Bill Belichick, talking a little bit about COVID and that whole experience. And I will always view that year, month as a magical time for family. Um, some things stuck as far as, just the feeling of what it's like to be around your family all the time, which I think is important. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully in the future, things go back. Work from home, not school from home. That was not possible. That was that was a mess. We had like a kindergartner, second grader on iPads
Yeah.
trying to learn. And God bless Kelly Sanseverino. If you're listening, uh, best teacher ever, trying to control 25 second graders on a screen. I
Wild.
don't know how you did it, but uh,
Their parents were slightly off screen with a squirt gun and a taser.
oh man, it
Or some
was
goldfish. Just chucking goldfish in the mouth. Little candies.
it was an
Yeah, that
adventure
was
for
wild.
everybody, for
It was so
better or for
wild.
worse. Um, I do have to leave you with that thought.
I'll keep running with it. I can rock a little COVID talk, but have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your morning, and I'll see you back here tomorrow potentially.
Tomorrow, no, I won't be here. I'm trying a new gym.
Okay. Well,
So
maybe tomorrow Chels will check her DMs and she'll click the link and we'll try
yeah,
again.
we'll see. Hopefully,
But yeah,
yes.
see you,
Chels,
buddy.
Dan, who else is here?
Ron
Dom,
Ron
Ron,
popped in. Yep. Got Dylan in the
everybody else,
background driving to work.
background listeners. I know you're there. We know you're there. Just come say hi.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Love you all. Have a great Tuesday.
See you, Jason. All right, guys. Here's my take on the reading. COVID was awesome. We definitely experienced COVID as a family, like many of us did. We enjoyed the time we had together. It was tough. School, like Jason said, school was the hardest thing. Um, but it definitely, I think it rocked. I think it rocked and shook the world in a really cool way. Obviously, there's the negative, but the positive side of that is I think a lot of people realized how disconnected from their family and their home life they were as they left every day and went to work and spent 8+ hours in working and commuting. I know it was definitely a changing point in my life where um I was it was I want to say it was more normalized to work from home and to be home more. And that's at one point, one of the times my wife had said, hey, uh you're one of the only dads that doesn't drop off or pick up the kids at school, so you might want to like think about that. And I was like, okay. So I shifted my schedule a little bit. This is when we lived really close to work, so I really had no excuse. Like, there was no full reason why I needed to leave the house at 7:30 or 8 o'clock before the kids went to school. So I shifted, I pivoted a little bit. I let everybody know I wouldn't be there, I wouldn't be there at 8. I'd be there at 8:30. It was just that simple. It was like a 30-minute transition, a one little conversation with my wife, and I was able to then, take a year or two. uh there's no traffic and no cops. Yeah, again, this is when I was working really close. Like, my work and my house were one town apart. So we're talking 10-minute commute. Um, and it's a lot different than 2.5 hours, but 10-minute commute. So if I just took the kids to school and then hopped in the car and drove to work, it would be a difference of me being there at 8 a.m. when the start time is 7:30, 8 a.m. versus 8:30. and no one knew the difference. It's not like people would show up, not see me, and then leave. Like, that's not the way construction works. There's a lock on the gate. They go in, they do their thing. It doesn't matter if I'm there. So that was a big transition for me. That kind of showed me, that I could do that, that I could be a part of that pickup and drop off. I could be a part of those walks to school where they're having fun, they're seeing their friends, we're interacting with the crossing guard and all the other parents. And then I could still be at work and still do my job during the day. And then there were times where I would, come home real quick and pick them up from school, and then go back to work or work in the office. So, you know, this story, this reading, we're in a different time, obviously. So, like, the title of the reading is "Give What You Didn't Get." So basically, breaking the pattern, as I titled the show. Um, Giving our kids something different than we did. And for me, a lot of that was a more present and around and positive father figure. Growing up from a divorced set of parents where there was always tension and a good amount of negativity, toxicity, whatever you want to call it. Um, with my parents, basically talking down about each other around me. It was definitely something that I did not want my kids to grow up with. It's, you know, always been in my mind that they would have, two parents around, and I would do everything in my, power to keep my relationship with my wife strong. Um, and I've done that year after year. Have to kind of adapt as things change and grow. This most recent thing. Wait, there's a message. He comes in hard, still watching commercials. Um, and it's been a little bit more difficult with the move and the commute, and a lot more of my time spent away and in the car. But I think I'm settling into a good routine right now. Again, prioritize, like, rethinking about it and prioritizing again after my wife, sat me down and said, "Hey, look, you're spending too much time out there. I don't like you spending the night." Even though she was the one who originally, suggested it, she was like, "I know that, but it's getting a little too much." So she's a gem. She's a peach. She's a whatever you want to call her. But she really helps kind of check me because, at the end of the day, I am just a boy. I am just a man, and I'll just do crazy ass things. Huge mess, more messy than normal. Finn threw up this morning, so we extra messy. Oh my gosh, a poor guy. A poor guy. That poor young gentleman. Oh, David's saying hi to everybody. What's up? What's up? What's up? Finn is still getting all that Texas out of him. Is basically what it is. Just too much Texas for that little boy. So yeah, that's how I got the reading. Put your family first. It's like kind of like the lesson of the month. Put your family first, prioritize your time. The Texas thing was definitely a good example of this. You can take this reading not just to mean prioritize your time for your family interaction, but also prioritize it for text mess. I love that. Um, your own self-care, your interactions with your friends. That's what I've seen a lot of posts today about how needed that trip was, how refreshing it was to sit there and hang out with friends and family and stuff like that. And Ron's prioritizing meeting new people, so I'm sure Ron had a good amount of new conversations. I needed it. I didn't look at my phone. Yeah, that's the funny thing about these meetups. When you miss them, right? Versus when you go to them. So me missing it, I was scrolling the internet looking for pictures. I was looking for updates. I was looking for live streams. I finally downloaded Whatnot to join the Whiskey Jack stream and watch the tournament and all that stuff. But all of y'all that were there were doing what Ron said, not looking at their phone, not, trying not to take pictures. And I've done that too on the VCons I've gone, the nationals. I come back and there's like 4 pictures, and I'm like, huh, I don't take any pictures. That's so weird. In a community when one of the pillars is content creation, to then go there and feel I don't know where I was going with that, but like just not take pictures just seems very weird to me at some point. But like Ron is saying, like you get into these conversations, these interactions, these moments, and you just don't even think about it. You just want to be present. You just want to be there. You just want to enjoy it all, soak it in, and just let it like take over you. Um, and it's a great thing. And that's, going back to the reading, going back to parenting, that's how we should treat our um parenting life with our kids. Those moments. I'm my wife will always take pictures and video, so I have that as a blessing for me that I can put my phone down and I can soak in the moment while she handles capturing it. I love, Dom, that your kids see how you can shift. We all need to reevaluate what's working. Yep, exactly. I hope they see that. I'm sure they do. You never know what they see and what they don't see. Um, I guess I should just ask, but here we are. We just ban this person over here. Thank you for trying. It's never gonna work. Does anyone ever click that link? Same. I have a photo of Finn on the plane and then him smiling after he got. Oh my god. Yeah, that was. There was one point where I think on Sunday I was there. An amount of pictures and videos started to come out, and there was a stream, and I was like, I didn't see Chels in any pictures. She wasn't really there. Has anybody seen Chels? Did did Rob just send her to the Airbnb with Finn and he was just there the whole time? I'm the dad behind the camera. If you find me in a picture, it's a rare sighting. Yep, true story. Same with my wife. There was a while where she would look at the year-end recaps, or we'd put together a calendar for her dad. She's like, I'm not in many of these pictures. And I'm like, hey, you're the one taking them, girl. Um, More importantly, they feel it. Yep. Thank you. Thank you. It was wild when I looked back at my phone and had nothing. Yeah, but then again, you get the memories. You enjoyed your time probably more so than had you been, worried about running around catching selfies and all that stuff. I think this we can confirm maybe there's a bunch of good V parents raising good kids. Yep, I heard there was a good amount of kids. I was actually one of the streams that Whiskey rated me into was Blue Collar Crypto and his son Caleb, right? And he was opening some cards and showing off his binder, and I was chatting with him a little bit, and I asked him, how many kids, and it was cool. He's a good kid. Blue's a good dad. I love that he's taken him to a bunch of these events because I think he was at VCon 3 if I'm not mistaken. I think that's where I first met him. Um, but yeah, that's it's so cool. Oh, wait, Dom, you had literally everyone come. I did comment and text a whole bunch on X, and it's funny because you're not on X, Shells, so I can run this propaganda. And I told everyone who said I'm on my way to Texas, not everyone, but most people, I commented, "Oh, I'm so jealous. I'm totally not going to be there. Dot dot dot. If you see Chels, let her know I'm on my way." So I'm glad to know that it worked a little bit. I do have a pick with Dan the Wizard at the final TCG table. Yep, Dan crushed it. First he crushed the chair, and then he crushed the game. Um, but yeah, I'm deleting Uber on my phone just from the PTSD. Why Uber? You trying to like track me or something? Can confirm. Yeah, Great people raising I mean, I think we've talked about this, or Ryan talked about this, and I think it was part of one of the things why Ryan started this whole thing was that I've heard on a couple of the earlier episodes is that he had this thought originally going in that, like, you know, he was more of an anomaly, and then realizing as he started to meet people that a lot of the people here in VFriends are, a little older, a little more established in life, and have kids. And a lot of the reason why we, you know, go so heavy into Gary V and his content and the VFriends is that it's like a lot of us have this thought like, man, I wish I had this in my life when I was younger or when I was growing up, or my parents had this as a tool. And like we see where this can go. We see how if this did actually turn into something big like a Marvel or Pokemon or Sesame Street, but it had these traits, these words that we, even as adults, like don't fully understand. Like I think I've had a bunch of conversations, a bunch of thoughts in my head, or heard a lot of conversations where people are like, what does that word actually mean? Like what is befuddled, I think is one. I think Ryan or Soggy even asked that. They're like, what is befuddled? I don't know where, but it's just, and don't ask me to define it, please. I won't. Uh, People say he's Yes. Oh man, I need to like get a list of these people and just like send gifts or something because I love that. Whoever did that, thank you very much. Boo and Caleb are the best. Yep, gotta love him. Try explaining that to Finn how rare this is, how we can have so many like-minded. That's one of the things. Like we're all here for this, seeing adults be adults without incident all week. That's that's amazing. Like, that's really cool, especially in a competitive environment, like, when you throw in competition, when you throw in a lot of people in one space from different backgrounds, different views, different all that kinda stuff. You throw in alcohol, you throw in, long time, like, a long amount of time in a space, standing on your feet, like, people's energy starts to wane, but having been in a lot of these situations, I think we could all agree that because it's such a positive space, you almost get like doubled your energy. Like I remember a conversation, or not conversation, but like a quick 10-second clip with Ron Jordan at VCon 3 where I was like, dude, how do you do it? How do you do it all? And it was like just I feel like if the feeling surging through his body, like he just wasn't he was unstoppable that weekend. Having ran his own tournament slash brunch. And did you speak on stage, Ron? I feel like you did. No, maybe you didn't. But just I saw him everywhere, running all over the place, and you couldn't miss him. He was wearing the brightest freaking shirt imaginable. But yeah, dumb conversations in your head all day, every day, man, all day, every day. That proved to me that this group is so special, some of the kindest, competitive, creative sports. Yeah. So yeah, competition, you know, you get beat. Like everybody there got beat, right? And everybody was happy to. Someone said, oh, it's Thought Wrong, which Thought Wrong and I have a really contentious relationship. Um, like I love the dude, but I also hate the dude. Uh, and he had said something in a post where it was like, Savvy D knocked me out of the competition, but it was one of those things where there's no way I could lose because if I won, I would win and move on. But if I lost to Savvy D and she moved and went on, and that would be okay with me. And that's just like, as as much of a turd as Thought Wrong is, that was so cute and so adorable. And I just want to squeeze his cheeks. Um, You know what was crazy? I'm a nervous wreck letting my kids go, and Finn is usually glued to me. Not in Texas. We felt so safe, and Finn was fine going off out of sight. He felt instantly he could ask anyone where his parents are, and if he needed to, he was having. Yep, that's amazing. Like that is I felt that way at VCon when I brought my 2 daughters there. So I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm sure Blue understands that, Dr. Feelgood, Savvy, and everybody who brought their children, you know. And all it takes is a quick introduction, and then everybody's like, "Okay, that's Finn Messer. He's he's in it. Like, he's one of us. We got him. If he needs anything," I'm sure people were checking on him, if he was just standing alone and looked like he was hesitant to something. I'm sure some people went up to him and asked him if he wanted to throw a cornhole bag or if he needed some water or anything like that. And yeah, I also left out a black cat refractor from Chrome on the table for the whole weekend and nobody took it. Like, you left it out there for someone to took it for someone to take it, and no one. That's funny. I had this client a long time ago who we did a remodel, so we were in there for weeks in their house, and every time I went in there, there was just money, like, folded or crumbled just in different places of the house, like, all the time, like, ranging from $1 to $20, and it used to just trip me out that there was just always money, like, on the different countertops. Like, it's not like our remodel was closed off to one area, like, this was all accessible. And I don't know if it was just the way that they lived their life, that was just what it was, or if it was like a trap or something. Liter Ron literally lent me cards to use to try to beat him. Good stuff, good ones too. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I was in a stream yesterday and, this guy, Kurt Iceman, he was out there and he was talking about how he needs to break his slab of his perfect Persian cat for his deck for the next tournament. I'm like, dude, I have an unslabbed Persian. You're more than welcome to borrow it whenever you need to for a tournament. I'm never gonna play in a tournament. It's just not my thing. So, you know, more and look, there is a caveat. Like, I know where he lives, so I could find him. But I would definitely, I lent Burge a rare Persian for the tournament in LA. And he gave it right back to me. No big deal. And I didn't even go to the tournament. I just, like, gave it to him. He went to the tournament. Next day I found him. I'm like, "Hey, can I get that back?" And he's like, "Yep, there you go. I've been looking for you." This Finn Switch 2 was just left anywhere, and we weren't even concerned. Rob's box of grails on the table all weekend. Yeah, you know, it's great. Love it. Wow, you guys are amazing. See? It's just so great. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Dude, what is with the chat scroll? Yeah, Soggy, underrated. The way he took care of Finn, I can't even. Yeah, especially knowing that Soggy's a weird dude. I think he just plays too much that he's an a-hole. But then yeah, you put him with young ones. Like, I watched him at National. He ran like the not ran it, but like he was at the V Friends extra booth. And I watched him interact with kids and teens and people and everyone who came through. But yeah, he definitely he tries to come off all hard, but he's not. Really thousands of dollars of cards all weekend. Undisturbed. Iceman and I hung a lot. PA Brothers United. Nice. Yeah, I met him out here in a small event in Hollywood. He was one of the first people that I like really interacted with. Him and Danger Dave. Um, Soggy on the mics. I know. Soggy that Soggy and Ryan Turner duo, that made my night. Most of the time, those tournaments, those live stream tournaments are the worst. They're boring as hell. It's one of the reasons why I don't tune in to the TVL because they're just boring. You guys need announcers. I've said it every time. I've said it to Rob. I understand, like, there was points where I was listening to Soggy and Ryan and they were calling out cards, and I'm like, "You're not that far away. You guys might wanna whisper a little bit more," saying that, this person has a burglar in their hand right behind them. Um, But they made it so much better for all of us watching at home. Just the interactions, the bringing people for a quick interview, the not paying attention to the game and just going on a tangent. I love that so much. That was great. That was amazing. We always need someone like that. I think one of the people that did it a long time ago was, where is he at? The duck guy, AT. AT ran a stream. He was great, moving all around, talking to people, very steady hands with the camera. He puts on an act, but in person, he has an eye for everything. Yeah. Yep. We just need to like copy and paste all these over to his DMs. It was on the edge of a meltdown, and Soggy just shows up with a freeze pop. Look at that guy. See, look at him. And he's not, you see, and the thing is, he's not a parent. Okay. But he's just like you said, he pays attention. He knows, he knows he knows just about everyone, everything. Like it's just all about paying attention and just putting yourself second. Very much a parenting thing, and realizing that someone needs something, and then you have two legs and you can get up and go offer that to him. So good job, Soggy. Chelsea's crying. Gotta tell Soggy to tune into the last 10 minutes of this episode. He won't. It's okay. AT Stream was one of my all-time highlights. Yeah, I loved that one. That one was a cool one. I think about it all the time, and then I go, "Where is AT? I miss that guy." Um, where were you when I needed a friend? Soggy he's now has a job as announcing and commentating TCG tournaments and bringing freeze pops to people. He knows. I texted him about it all the other day. Good. Okay, that was a good one, guys. Thank you again. Appreciate the recap on Texas. Appreciate all of you that did take pictures and put them on there. It was really fun to see the last couple of days. I'm bummed again that I didn't go. But I'm working my way to it. Me pulling back from VF has strengthened my relationship with my wife a lot last year. uh, Putting her and the kids first, all that kind of stuff. It was needed. So we'll see when I next am available. I'm shooting next for Comic Con in New York. It is really something that's been interesting to me. But if not, I told Whiskey and Ben, if they do a fourth year, I won't miss it. But then I also worry they're gonna just do what Gary Vee did and just say, "Oh, we were only locked in for 3. We'll do 4 maybe some other time." But yeah, home's important. Have to focus, all that kind of stuff. But I'm still here. Y'all know where to find me every single morning except Saturday and Sunday. So let's just call it 5 days a week. I'm here. Oh, I almost got the time wrong. 5:30 a.m. Pacific. And I'm DMing the links if you want to jump up. Ron, I still need to get you up here. Chels, I don't know. We could try again. David, for sure. Dr. Feelgood, for sure. Dylan, whenever you're not driving, whenever you just want to pull over and talk, I'm here for it. Who else was here today? Dan. We still haven't had Dan up here. Do I allow people to return as guests before getting everybody once? I don't think that's the case. Everybody could come whenever you want. But yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate you. Have a great Tuesday. Um, Lock in. I don't know why I said that, but just do it anyways. And let's get out of here. Get to it. Bye now.
What's up, bitches? What's up? Wake up. It's the morning